Kevin. The floor is yours.
Welcome to Coastal Conversations. I'm Kevin Miller, and I'm sitting here with Paul Domenech,
Yes, sir.
better known as Yo Pauly. You've seen his billboards up and down 98 in Fort Walton and Destin. How you doing, Mr. Pauly?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Kev?
Doing great, doing great. So, most of you guys know Paul Domenech is a real estate mogul here locally. We're going to dive in a little bit more what he does. Paul, you are an MMA fighter, or used to be.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I was doing that for about, actually competing myself for probably about 5 years, but in the business for about 17. I just was a bartender in Key West and saw the writing on the wall at about 28 and said, this is going to create a Peter Pan syndrome if I stay down here, because you either get caught in the conch or else you leave. And so that's when MMA had just popped up, and I was doing a bunch of amateur boxing. And then when I saw the opportunity, I kind of fell in love with the sport and said, okay, well, you know what? This is the direction that I'm going to go. So this is my way out of Key West. And so I started doing MMA. Matchmaking is what it's called, putting shows together. I was the first promoter in the state of Florida to do a legal show in Key West, actually. I don't know, you would do it in Key West where there's like a minimal population, and we did it in a field, but it was absolutely amazing. It was an awesome experience. And then from that, I kind of just took it out of Key West and been doing it, did it for about a good 18 years, been to Russia, did it for Japan, Suriname, Dominican Republic, all over the United States. And yeah, that was my first real career outside of bartending and everything else like that. So, yeah.
That is great. So you're a world traveler too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Traveled all over the world. And it got me into jujitsu. And that was another thing that I fell in love with, which is really the main discipline that is a catalyst to everything that I do, whether it's find some success in a bunch of different things, but that is the catalyst to it.
When did you stop doing all that and jump into real estate?
So about 10 years ago, I was approached by a student in our gym and was asked if I knew somebody that was a real estate agent, and I did. And this guy frequented the gym every now and then. He wasn't like a real member, but he knew some stuff. And so I recommended him and referred him to this person. And then this student stopped coming. And when he stopped coming, I gave him a call and said, hey, what's going on? And he told me that he had purchased a home that was too much for him to afford and be able to do jujitsu still, because he maxed out his approval rate. And so until he could find roommates, he wasn't able to come back to the gym. Well, that didn't make any sense to me. I really didn't know anything about real estate, didn't even aspire to be in real estate. And when I talked to the gentleman that was the agent at the time, and I said, hey, how did this happen? He looked at me and said, well, I'm not his dad, and he's a grown man. I said, he's 22 years old. He's not a grown man. If you tell a 22-year-old, hey, check it out, I got this Camaro on the lot. It's got 50,000 miles. And I know it's more than this new Nissan Altima over here, but if you skip a few meals, we could get you in that Camaro. Like, a young kid is going to be like, yo, get me in the Camaro. All right. And that's what's going to happen to somebody that's young. You're supposed to help this person. And now we're in a situation where you should have showed him a Dodge Dart or something right back in the day.
I got a 22-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this.
Yeah. And then show him the Nissan and he'll buy the Nissan. Like, okay, cool. And so then when that happened, I told the guy, you know what? I'm going to get my license. It can't be that hard. Now, I've been doing mixed martial arts now for probably about 15 years at this point. And we were setting up contracts for fighters. We were having 15 fights, so that's 30 contracts. Their travel, their coaches' travel, their hotel, organizing the fight, getting all the paperwork for them, their blood work, their eye exams, their physicals. So I was doing a ton of organizing for the mixed martial arts stuff. And when I looked at real estate, I was like, wait up. It's a 8-page contract with a few addendums. And you get paid how much? I was like, oh, count me in. So I thought I was going to do like maybe 6 a year. And my first year I did 3. And those 3 people that actually bought from me now work for me. So
is that here in Destin?
Yeah, that was here. That was in Fort Walton. One was in Crestview, and the other 2 were in Fort Walton Beach. And then I asked to be on a team, and I was told, no. You know what? Like, you kind of got your own thing going on. We think that you need to kind of be a single agent. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it my way then. And then the first full year, I ended up doing 42. The next year, 76, 82, 96, 107. And then it grew up like that. All repeat referral business.
Like you're talking about home sales.
Home sales. Yeah, home sales. All repeat referral business. I didn't expect to do that. But what I had realized was the level of standard in the industry and organization was so lacking that I was just doing my job. And by just doing my job the way that I learned by putting fights together, which were state sanctioned, countries, travel, visas, things like that, like by putting these contracts together right and then trying to cover all the bases. So I have this saying, if there's a 1% chance, there's a 100% chance. So I'm not holding my breath for something that I hope isn't going to happen if it possibly could happen. I hedge it up. I look at what I got to do to avoid that from happening. And if I've got to do the extra work, I do the extra work. Even though it's probably never going to happen, I will still do the extra work, because if that thing does happen, that 1%, 100% is happening.
So would you attest your discipline with Jujitsu, mixed martial arts, everything you did with that brought you success in the real estate industry?
Yeah, I would say that's the Jujitsu and the
because it's a disciplined sport.
The fact that you've got to tap, the fact that you're getting your butt kicked, you got to reset, re-go. Absolutely, that helped a lot with my mindset. But I also think that I had something in me that was to prove people wrong, right? I had so many people that did not back me, did not think I could. But there was a shift that happened. And when I left Key West, it was like, oh, yeah, he's going out to do his thing. What's going to happen? And then I had the MMA world, and then I hit it, and I was really successful in that arena. When I decided to go to real estate, I had a lot of people that were on my side, like my family, going like, oh, man, you're going to kill it in this. Where I had other people going like, oh, you're switching again. So that motivation turned from trying to prove people wrong to actually proving the people that believed in me right.
And yourself.
And myself. And then that was a catalyst to me really every single day. I don't sit here and try to compete with other people. I just try to live up to the potential that I have. I try to live up to the potential that I have in me that people believe I have in me every single day. Because you always doubt, right? When you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. And right, what's that catalyst? There's so many people that believe that I can do it. And it's my job to prove them right. And that's what really drives me every single day to doing what I'm doing. And that's what drove me into this real estate and actually like getting to another level in real estate, really. So.
And you're a family guy. So the drive is there to succeed for the family, to provide for the family. You've got a son. How old?
Yeah, 5 years old.
5 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my family is wide. My family is a group of people that are I don't want to say friends. I don't believe that blood is the thing that ties family together, right?
Correct.
Because sometimes that family can tear you down because they're entitled to it. I think that family in your circle is earned, right? You earn your spot to be in my family. I earn my spot to be in your family. And so I have a really, really tight circle and a really, really tight family that everything that I'm doing, I'm bringing those people with me. Because when I was not where I'm at today and I was starving, those people starved with me. So as I follow and lead into my success, those are the people that I'm going to break bread with. And so I keep on driving every day to prove them right so that we can have more bread.
You gotta eat, man.
You gotta eat. We gotta eat. We're gonna eat, right? Leaders eat last, and I'm always willing to eat last, 100%. But that's really like, yeah, my drive is my family, and that family is those group of people that I've starved with me that believed in me, because that's the biggest thing. Do you want to talk about my love language? My love language is...
Let's not get personal.
Yeah, right? No, right? Love language is believing in me. Like that's the biggest thing. Even when I don't believe in myself, like I will do something for somebody else before I do it for myself. All day.
The power of positive thinking.
Yeah, all day. Because if you believe I can do it, well, shit. All right, here we go. Let's go.
All right, so you're a competitor in Ironman competitions.
Yeah.
How many have you done?
So that I've only done one.
You've only done
I've
one.
only done one. That's my thing now. Yeah. Well, it's not my thing. Jiu-Jitsu has always been my thing, right? But yeah, I'm doing Ironman now. That's the next chapter in my life.
And your next one's coming up in April.
Yeah, it's coming up in about a month. Exactly 1 month. Yeah, a month and a day.
In Texas.
In Texas.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready. I mean, listen, I'm going to be ready. Right. But I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready. So there's no doubt that I'm going to do it. Right. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that I'm going to get it done. But now it's time to put in the work and really get my body to a point where I know that I can push myself rather than just get it done. Right. I was talking to some people about this and saying, like, it's not always trying to just be better than the next person. It's trying to be exceptionally good no matter what or who your competition is, right? And so whenever I do this, I don't do it just to do it. I do it to try to be better than the person that I was when I started the journey. Right? Like,
yeah.
That's the real big thing. That's the goal. The goal isn't to do the Ironman. The goal is throughout this journey of being on the road, no headphones, riding your bike, no headphones, swimming, no headphones, thinking, just being with yourself in that silence while you're listening to your body, while you're listening to your thoughts for hours on end, for months on end. It's really that journey that is the most important part of the Ironman, because that's where you get to really talk to yourself and know who you are and where your thoughts are. And so the Ironman, to me, is not doing it, but the journey to becoming a better version of me. And the Ironman in itself is like a graduation. It's like a graduation. And then on to the next thing. What's that next thing? It's not the end all be all, but it's the graduation of me evolving into a better person. When you get silent with yourself for that long, boy, you can tell if you got demons, or you could tell if you really actually have like that positive energy. There's a lot of people that act positive, right? They act positive. But truly inside, they're not whole. And whole meaning like, looking at your life overall. Are you doing everything? Faith, family, fitness, finance, focus, these F's in the world, right, that we look at. So are you really doing all of them to make you a whole person? Well, when you're running, the things that you're lacking, oh boy, they'll come in your mind. If your finances ain't right for 3 hours on the road running, you're going to be thinking of your finances. If your family ain't right, you're going to be thinking of your family. So it's a great therapeutic way of really getting in touch with yourself and being honest with yourself, so that when you come off the road or you take your shoes off, you then take action on whatever it is that you're lacking in. So that's kind of how I use it. But
so real estate, Ironman, public speaking. Take us through a day in the life of Paul Domenech.
Oh, yeah.
What time do you get up in the morning? What's your schedule like? I mean, motivate these people because you are a motivator. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at you going, I've got to do some things better in my life. So,
well, one of the things that I do tell people is, listen, this isn't overnight. Like, I didn't decide that I was going to go on this journey to be this whoever I am today, right? What people might see. I'm not built different, right? I just made a conscious decision one day to start using the tools that I was given to build who I am. And this is not overnight. This is over time, right? And so there was a lot of work that I had to go through in those moments of silence that I picked up the burden and just hedged them up, right? And so my life in a day of the Paul Domenech, again, this is over time. This is not overnight, right? So I'm waking up at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting out the door at about 4:45. I'm getting to the gym. I train over here at Militia Fitness, which is one of the best gyms to train at, hands down. Functional strength, physical strength, all of it. Get done with that about 6:30. I go home. I shower. I eat. I eat the same thing every single morning. It's 6 eggs, 3 strips of bacon. Then I have my. I'll either do a smoothie for my carbs, or I'll drink something that is a carb supplement. And then I'll do that. And then I will head to the office. I'll be in the office anywhere between 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Then I just start my day with that, and I start making my phone calls. Then at about 9 o'clock, 9:30, I start my staff starts rolling in, and then we start talking about, okay, what problems do we have? What contracts do we have to hedge up? What do we have to do with that? Then by 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime. I'll go home. I'll eat. Again, I don't have a diet, but what I've figured out is that I know what I should be eating. What is discipline? Discipline is really honestly doing the things that you honestly know you need to do. Right? That's what discipline is. Like, okay, I need to eat right. So then if you eat right, people look at me and go, well, you're so disciplined. Like, no, I just am telling the truth to myself. I know what I need to eat to feel good. And so what I've done is I've created this habit and this low friction to make sure that what I need to be eating is the only thing that's available for me. So I eat red meat. There's no reason. I'm not on some carnivore diet, but that's what I eat all the time. And I have hamburger and I have steak. I couldn't tell you how to cook chicken. I couldn't tell you how to cook fish. I couldn't tell you how to cook pork chops. I know how to cook hamburger, and I know how to cook steak. And because I do know how to do that, that's what my go-to is. So I've created this low friction environment. I don't have the chicken. I don't have the pork. I don't have any of that stuff. So the preparation time is very short. So I can get in, get it made, get out, get back to work. Now, people think it's discipline, but really what I've set up is I've set up a controlled environment where it's just the only option for me to do. And it works, and I like it, and we're out the door, right? And so discipline, the discipline that people see is just really honestly, I've created and set up a controlled environment so that it's low friction for me to do the things that I need to do in order to achieve what I am set out to do or whatever my goals are. So then I get lunch, I come back to work, I finish out the day with either all of my listing appointments I schedule for any 2 o'clock on. So on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I have my listing appointment schedules. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, I pick up my son at 3:30. And then on Wednesdays, we have jujitsu. And then occasionally on a Monday, I only really do listing appointments between 2 and 3:30 because we have jujitsu at 4:30. So then I'll go to jujitsu, and then after that, I come home, I eat, and I go to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
So no time for chocolate.
No. And you know what? Like,
I need chocolate every day.
and you know something? Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I 100% love ice cream. I love ice cream. But what I won't do is I won't put the ice cream in my shopping cart when I'm at the store. What I will do is I will leave it at the store. And even if it's buy one, get one free, if I want ice cream, I got to get my butt up, get in the car, drive to the store, pass 3 or 4 gas stations that have ice cream. Nope. I got to go to Publix, cross the bridge, get it. If it's buy one, get one free. Nope. You only buy one because that's what you want. I get it. I go home and I eat it at home. And if my will is to do all of that to get that ice cream, then damn right I deserve it because I worked for it. But it's not convenient. And that is the problem that that is not a problem, but that's a situation that a lot of people fall into, is they fall into the category of it being convenient.
Okay, you just got into my head because I was just at Publix last week. I bought the 2-for-1 pint.
Yeah, you did.
Vanilla bean and cookies and cream.
Yeah.
absolutely. I was there. So
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, oh, well, you know what? I deserve a treat every now and then. And, I'm trying to eat right. But you got ice cream in your freezer. When that craving comes, we do not have enough willpower in the world at the end of the day to say no to that ice cream. I don't. Because I've used it all in my day. Like, I've used it all in my day. So you have to almost remove it. And then what ends up happening is you'd make that effort to go all the way out there to do that and get it and eat it. And then you really think of, like, at the end, like, was it that satisfying? Was it really worth all of that time? And if it's not.
I went to get shrimp.
Yeah.
And the ice cream just happened to be in my eye when I
Right.
passed through the aisle.
That's
and it was
it.
saying, come get me. It's 2-for-1.
You gotta go get it right here. That's the thing, right? And so that will always happen. And so what I also tell myself is, no. Even if I need garbage bags, even if I need soap, even if I need toothpaste, I am not allowed to pick up anything else but ice cream. I will not justify it because I have to get this. I want ice cream, so therefore I go and get it. I'm not going to tell myself I can't have it. That's a trick that I've done to myself. And now it's like, no, I don't want it. And so what I'll have is I'll have fruit and I'll have yogurt in my refrigerator. And so at the end of the day, I go, well, I'll have a banana or I'll have some strawberries. Or I'm a simple guy, really. Bananas, strawberries, and blueberries.
That's what I
Why?
put in my shakes every morning.
So quick. It's
Yep.
quick.
I even
You know-
cut up my bananas. I got them in little chips in the freezer, and I just
Yeah. So
Eat 'em
I'll
like
buy a
bitches.
bunch, and then when it's like, oh man, I haven't eaten like all my stuff, I just chop it up and stick it in the freezer, and then it goes into a smoothie. But I do that because it's so easy to prep. By the time my hamburger is done, I've cut off the tops of the strawberries, I've washed them, hands full of blueberries, plow, take the banana, roll it out, cut it, put it in there, scoop of yogurt. Oh, hamburger's done. Okay, done. Have a nice day. There's your meal. It's the easiest thing to make.
This episode brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition.
That's right.
You gotta have your greens.
You gotta have your greens, right? You gotta, absolutely. So that's kind of how I am able to stay as what they call disciplined, but I've just created easy, low friction habits. And I don't allow myself to have the things that I shouldn't have. And what I do with those things, I create those high friction habits. Now, everything is done in small doses, though. It wasn't like, all right, this is what I'm going to do from now on, this is how I'm going to do it. Like, no, it didn't necessarily happen that way. It was like, okay, I can eat like hamburger and not get the pizza. Hamburger's easy to do. Okay, I'll do that. And yes, I had rice, I had beans, but I slowly pulled away things.
I got a frozen pizza in my freezer.
Yeah, you do. Of course. Because
Kroger.
you never know, right? You never know. It's gluten-free. It's probably, it's a cauliflower pizza, so it's healthy, right? It's still the same thing. I know.
Throw it in the oven and turn it on.
Yeah, that's the thought process. Like, throw it in the oven, turn it on, right? And then go do what? Sit down and wait.
Yeah.
Sit down and wait when you could actually be like cooking your meal, and probably as fast as that pizza is done, you cook the meal that I got. It takes me 7 minutes. I've timed it 7 minutes to cook hamburgers and have a fresh bowl of fruit with yogurt. 7 minutes. And if I'm making a smoothie, even quicker. 7 minutes. And then other thought is like, well, if I make it that quick, like, then what am I going to do with all that extra time that I have? Like, yeah, exactly. What are you doing with all of your extra time? What are you doing with all of your extra time? Are you doing that so that you could get back to your Netflix and watch your series while that's cooking so that you can not miss something that's
Get out of my head.
Not feeding you? I know, right? So
I'm sitting there going, everything you're talking about, that's bad. I'm doing.
Check it out. You want to know why? Because that's me. That's me. I'm talking about my experience, and I'm talking about my experience, and then me sitting there and going, you know what? I've got to change this. So what do? I don't know. I'm nuts. I said, you know what I got to do? I'm gonna do an Ironman to clean up this time because I have to train. Now, on my bike, I have a rider on the inside. I do have Netflix and a TV in front of my rider. So if I want to watch something on Netflix, I get on my bike and I ride my bike while I'm watching Netflix. But I had to find something. I had to connect something. Something had to inspire me to make this change or just make this adjustment. And I had to find it for myself. I had to find this my own personal journey, right? I couldn't be with other people because other people tend to want you to hold them accountable. Other people will let you down.
Most definitely.
Right? They'll ride with you for a little while and then they'll stop and then it'll mess you up because you're tethered to this person that's doing it with you. You don't know how to do it alone. And so I found that the biggest change that I made in my life recently that has just it was the catalyst to my newfound success was I stopped asking people to hold me accountable and I started becoming responsible. So we often have somebody that wants to hold us accountable. Hey, buddy, like, hey, if I go to the gym, will you go to the gym? If I go to the gym, you go to the gym. You call me, I call you. We'll make sure that we're accountable for each other. Cool, we're accountability partners. But here's the thing about that. If one day you don't want to do it, then I'm going to be like, I don't really want to do it either. We've been working really hard. And the moment you cross that line in the sand, it's easier to cross it again. So I changed that to say, look, here's the deal. This is what I'm going to do. If you want to come with me, great. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to bug you. I'm not going to make sure that you're there, right? But here's what I will do. I will be there. I will have the responsibility for myself to be there, and I will be your responsibility partner. You don't have to have a doubt whether I'm going to be there or not. You show up and you be responsible for what you need to do for yourself, and I'll be responsible for what I need to do, and we'll both be there. And the day that you're not there, okay, I'm not questioning. I don't need an excuse. I don't need to know why you weren't there. I know what I was doing. Oh, you're back. Cool. What's up, Kevin? How are you, bro? Like, yeah, let's get this. Let's get this. Cool. Because I don't feel that whole need to like, oh, man, you're letting me down. You know what? You were supposed to be my accountability partner and you let me down. You haven't gone. And so now I'm not going.
I see it. Now, truth be told, I used to weigh 227 pounds.
I know. Yes. I love that. That is such an amazing thing. Yeah. This guy, 200 and what?
227.
227. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even weigh 227. Do you see the size disparity in this, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was, and I did the. I mean, I didn't do it with anybody else. You know, I woke up every morning and jumped on that treadmill, and I had little saucers for dinner of food. I didn't have big plates of food. I even did a battle frog competition. I don't know if you ever heard of battle frog?
Yeah.
That was intense.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was the catalyst to you making that switch to decide like one day, all right, I'm 227? Because at that point in time, a lot of people would just throw in the towel.
Honestly,
I'm done.
I couldn't tie my shoe without running out of breath. Trying to bend over and tie my shoe. That was it for me. I was like, that's it.
Right.
I'm going full bore. I tried it several times, did the freaking injections, you know, lost weight, gained weight, lost weight, gained weight. And I just jumped on that treadmill. And once I got, and this is the discipline you were talking about, because once I made it to 220, I said, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Once I made it to 215, I'm never going back. And I just kept going lower and lower and lower. And now I'm at 165, and we're holding steady, but I'm still eating chocolate.
Right, yeah,
and
of
that
course.
freaking frozen pizza is still in the refrigerator. And I just had ice cream last night.
Yeah, you did.
Drizzled with chocolate syrup.
But like I said, like, you know what? That's okay. Hey, man, you know what? And what happens for me is I just don't feel good. Right? I just don't feel good in the morning. I got like foggy brain. With all the things that I'm doing, it just does not help me move forward. So alcohol, I stopped drinking alcohol 3 years ago. Not on a, oh my God, I was hungover. I woke up in Thailand and what happens in Bangkok stays in Bangkok, right? It wasn't that situation. But I did say to myself, what can I do that would drastically change the way that I am living? And at first, you know, go to the gym more, do more jujitsu, maybe sign up for a competition. But then it really dawned on me, and I was turning 45, and I was now like, okay, I'm closer to 50. Like, what's really going to impact me? My son was only 2. I said, well, I don't need to drink anymore, because when I drink, I get hungover, and I don't have the right to rob my son of days that I have with him when he's in such an impressionable moment because I'm hungover sitting on the couch. So I turned it from me and what's best for me, but how do I have the right to do that? To, man, if you have a kid, you know, something that you love so much and you're just going to waste a day away because time is finite. Right? Time is finite. Listen, days are long. Days are long.
Ripping at my heart, man.
Yeah, I got you, but days are long, right?
It's 29 months. I quit.
Months are short, but the years are the fastest. And we always hear that cliche, like, oh, turn around, you blink, they're going to grow up. Like, that's what everybody was telling me. Like, oh, you turn around and blink, they're going to grow up. So instead of being like, oh, yeah, okay, that's crazy and agreeing with it, I go, you know what? You're right. So I'm going to make sure that I'm sober for every moment of it, because I don't want a moment to happen where I'm impaired. I can't help. I can't be there. I don't remember. No way. It's not going to happen. And so when I removed it from me and I put that on my son, it was easy peasy.
Amen, brother.
Easy peasy. So what my question to you is, with moving from such a high weight to being where you're at today, what was that catalyst? Did it get past you and into other people that you have in your life that really were like, you know what, this isn't fair to everybody else because I'm not being the best version of me that you know you could be? Because a lot of people wouldn't see this man inside of them at that weight. They would have given up. I mean, we see it all the time. Oh, I've got diabetes. I'm going to just go on this medication. Oh, well, it's not me. Oh, I'm going to go on Ozempic. It's not me. I'm looking for something else to help me. So what was that thing in you that said like, no fair. This isn't the best version of me, and still gave you that motivation to find that best version of you?
Survival.
All right.
Survival. I mean, it's plain and simple. I was just a fat son of a bitch. And I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't get out there and play soccer with the kids without running out of energy and sitting down and saying, I'll be there in a minute. Where's my beer? You know, that was it for me. Same thing with alcohol. You know, it was survival. It was, I want to know what's happening next.
Yeah.
And I don't look back. You know, everything just goes forward, live it day by day. So,
I love it.
I mean, it's about the kids. It's unfortunately, in my particular case, it took me a longer time. My kids were they seen me in my worst, and they remember me in my worst, where your son is not going to remember you like that. Mine did, which gives me a little bit more satisfaction, I suppose, in a way that now they've seen that I've changed in a drastic way. And they're taking that into account. Now, you know, does my daughter go out and have a beer every now and then or a cocktail? She's 22, she's allowed.
Right. Absolutely.
So, you know, I can't take that away from her, but she knows now that, you know, her dad's going to be with her for a lot longer than if he was on that path that he was on.
You know, when I hear stories like that, I just think about the impact that you made on your family to have them realize, like, you broke that thought pattern that so many people fall into. It's like, well, this is the cards that I was dealt, and there's nothing that I could do about it. It's the circumstances, and there's nothing that I could do. I was born into this, right?
I was born into it.
Right, but the beautiful part about what you've done for your kids is you've showed them that, hey, I was here, and I completely changed. So they don't have that doubt of ever being able to, well, look at what Dad did. Look at, he went from that to that. If he could do that, we can change at any point in time, because you've inspired me, and I'm hoping that you're going to inspire a ton of people on this podcast to know that you said that you did it later on in your life. It's never too late, right? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Look at that.
That ain't even, oh, wow. That's wild.
I don't know if you can see that.
No, you guys will see it on the podcast. This is wild. That is awesome. Yo, so inspiring, brother. You really, really did light. Like, you gave your kids the best gift.
Can you see that?
Yep. And I can throw it up on I'll throw it up on the edit too.
That's some of the best gifts that you can give to your children, is doing something that almost seems impossible to break their own limitations, right? And so I said, I do what I do so that my son knows, like, there is no limit. You just got to keep going. And if you're not in it, then you can't win it, right? If you're not in it, you can't freaking win it.
In it to win it.
So let's go. What is it? What's going on? You know, I'm inspired by that. That's amazing, because yes, I found my journey at 45. When did you find your journey?
Oh, for my weight loss, I was probably 47.
Okay, yeah, 47.
And
47 years old. So if you're on this you're watching this podcast, and you're anything younger than 47, and you think that, oh, this is just the way it is, and these are my genes or whatever, you got to talk to my guy Kevin here. Call him up with these coastal conversations, and he'll be the proof in the pudding that, yo, it's never too late until you just quit.
Have the motivation. You know, I was living in Tucson, and I wanted to climb the mountain, and I did. I finally made it to the top. It took me a long time, but I finally made it to the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the journey.
And the alcohol part of it, for everybody out there, you can quit.
Yeah.
You know, it just takes motivation.
Yeah. What is the catalyst? That's the thing, right? And so whenever it really comes back down to the alcohol thing, I really realized that I wasn't truly living. So when I go on vacation, what's the first thing we're going to do?
Drink.
Pour a drink. We're going to drink. We're going to get on the plane. So then what happens is you go on vacation, you don't have any drinks, and it's boring. And so you've literally taken out the essence of life. You've desensitized yourself to just being because of the intoxication. So that was the biggest problem, right? In the beginning, it was like, can I go out without having a drink? Can I go to dinner without having a drink? Can I socialize without having a drink? Well, once I started to do those repetitively, I kept doing them. I found the joy in being present, and I kind of enjoyed watching everybody else be all.
I know, isn't it fun from the first beer to the 10th? And then you can't even have a conversation with them. You know, they're not even listening to you anymore.
100%. And then I'd always relish in the fact that, like, oh, you're going to have such a hangover tomorrow, and I'm going to just keep on living the way that I'm living. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and nothing's going to change. Like, alcohol, sure, it's a short-lived thing where you have that high or whatever it is, that euphoria. But the day after, you just literally are wiping time away from your life when you can't do anything. You're missing so much you could do with that time back, because that leads into the Monday Garfield morning blues. That leads to, Friday's coming up, so I can't wait for it to happen. And all you did was get closer to the Monday morning blues. Like, it just turns into this cycle. And then when it's hard to come out. But like you said, you have to have that motivation.
But to me, and I preach this to a lot of Facebook groups, it's you got to have the want. What is your want? You know, what do you want to survive? What do you want? Do you want to watch your kids grow up? Do you want to have a better job? Do you want to have a new car? What is your want? You know, do you not want to wake up with a hangover every day?
Right. And
do you not want to, stop making excuses? Do you want to stop making excuses?
Right.
What is your want?
Yeah, 100%. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, right? So I always also turn to people and say, like, listen, it's time to stop making the excuses and start making the adjustments. Stop making the excuses and start making the adjustments. And if you're not in the arena with me, your opinion doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Step into the arena with me, then we can have that conversation together. And your want will beat your will, but you got to know what that is. And I love that you said that, because how do you remember that want? Because that emotion is fleeting, right? Like, keep that energy up.
My want is I see it every day in my daughter. I want to see how successful she's going to be. I want to see her get married. I want to be a granddad because I never had a granddad ever. So I want to be able to be there and hear a little toddler go, "Grandpa,
yeah."
That is my want. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's God's will, but I'm prepared, and I prepared myself for that particular point.
What an amazing drive. What an amazing thing to have and drive towards. Yeah, and for those that don't know what their want is or don't have that baby, like when I started, because the change started before I had my son with certain things. But I always remembered the catalyst. Whenever you're feeling really good or you have something that you want to do, taking a Post-it and writing it down on that Post-it and sticking it on your mirror and reading that every single day when you wake up to brush your teeth and every single day when you go to bed, like, that will make sure that you are priming yourself to accept and open up the universe to the opportunities to lead towards that. And then asking yourself every day, are you prepared to accept the opportunities that are going to come regardless? And then you evaluate at the end of the day, did you get yourself a little bit closer to that goal? And then you know what? That's where New Year's resolutions, sometimes you think you want it when you really don't.
I wrote myself something that I repeatedly said to myself every day, and it goes like this. Now I just forgot it.
Many, many days.
Oh my gosh!
You
I
said
can't
it
believe
so
I just
much.
forgot it.
Yeah, that's all right. The weight's already off.
No, here it is. On this day I will survive. My will is huge, as is my drive. I commit to myself. I'll be okay. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I preach when I talk to everybody on the Facebook groups. Yeah, it's just it is. It's a daily. It's a struggle. It's a daily thing. Just got to do it.
Yep. It's every minute. You know, it's funny that people think, oh, well, you got it all figured out, man. You lost that weight. Well, you already did it. You already did it. And it's like, I'm still doing it every day.
Every single.
I'm still doing it. It doesn't make it any easier. Like, because I've lost the weight or because I'm doing what I'm doing right now, it doesn't make it any easier. I still have those thoughts of, I don't want to do this. I don't want to wake up. But that why, when that's bigger, then the obstacles cease to exist. And I say, like, you know, your faith, when your faith is bigger than your fear, then fear just falls to the wayside. It is what it is. It's just an emotion that we're all going to feel. But we know with faith, it's like stepping into it. I've got the faith. So it's not going to take the fear away. But what it's going to do is it's the tool to help me fight that fear. And the bigger the fear, and the greater the faith, it feels so good when the shit gets done, right? Like, look at you now, from 227 to where you're at right now. And I know it's crazy because it's kind of like old, but still, like, fuck, man. Like, that's so inspiring to so many people. And so some people that don't know that, I must commend you and say that I appreciate you, because that story really, truly fucking inspires me to this day. Even though you've been through that journey, when I heard that story for the first time, it inspired me, because I was like, well, shit, if he could fucking do that, the fuck is eating hamburger every day? Me, nothing, because I can't do that. Yeah, like, right, well, yeah, man.
You need an air fryer, brother.
Oh, I love it.
You stick an air fryer. You stick the pork chop in the air fryer and just turn it on.
No pork. We're not doing it. We're going with hamburgers. Meat, moo. I don't want to switch it up, because then that air fryer will turn into French fries, will turn into onion rings, will turn into fried broccoli, and it's like, oh no, it's air fried, it's good. No, it's not. No.
Ribs, man, that's ribs.
Oh
in there.
yeah.
Barbecue
Look,
sauce.
like when I go to a restaurant, don't get me wrong, I might have something different because I'm not cooking it. But through my day, as I have my day and my day is planned, I have that kind of just. I really, there's no time for eating. One of the things that I also got rid of because of doing the Ironman was the coffee talks. Hey, let's have a cup of coffee. Like, all right, what are we doing after this cup of coffee? Is there something going on? Can you put it in an email? Is there, or are we going to take some sort of action? And so I would be, for me as a salesperson, we want to have those conversations as much as possible. And so whenever I go to talk to somebody, whether it be about real estate, whether it be about jujitsu, whether it be about Florida Coastal Studios and the podcast, I always come with a thing of value for them. So it's like, hey, if you have a conversation with me and you're interested, I'm going to do a free CMA for you, so that at least you know what your house is worth, so that you can financially plan smarter. Right? So don't worry about, I'm not bringing no papers. Or if you want to check out the podcast, call the studio. We'll give you a free 30-minute session so that you can like see what it's like. Or if it comes down to jujitsu, it's, come on, just try it. Hey, listen, just come in. It's not going to cost you anything. Cool, man, let's do this. So that there's always some sort of action that they can take and something is given for me being blessed to have them give me that time. Because by doing that, it will have me be remembered and it'll have me be worth knowing. Because too many people are having coffee just to know you, but they're really not worth knowing.
Deep. I like it. But it leads me into a great thing. This is very unprovoked. Have you seen the new Neighbors of Destin magazine?
Yeah.
This is how we first met.
Yep.
And I appreciate the heck out of the meeting, which turned into a nice friendship.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest with you. So it wasn't coffee involved in this.
No, wait, damn, we left so much. Listen, it was so good. It was so good. And you were so persistent. I love the fact that you were persistent. This is another thing, right? Like when the message needs to hit, the person will be ready. Like, you just don't stop knocking. You just don't stop knocking. I don't care. So another thing that I tell people when in sales is get the no to no. Like, get the no to no. If they're not telling you no, it's not a no. It's just they're not ready. If they're not picking up the phone, it's not that they're telling you no. They're just not ready. Because the moment that you do call, and especially with me, as busy as I am, I will see a call and it'll come in and I'll get a message or whatever and I'll shoot a text back or I might not answer it or return because I'm busy in what I'm doing. But the moment that I need it and that phone rings, that whoever's on the other end of that line is getting the business. Like, so consistency with that, get the no to no. And I love the fact that you were just like, yeah, there was a couple times, there was about 3 times where I just kept getting busy and kept missing you and you just kept on it. And,
but you never ghosted me.
No,
you get ghosted so much in this business, as you know, you never once did not respond.
100%.
Hey, I have to pick up my kid. Traffic sucks. I'm flying to Vegas. You know, I unfortunate this. But you always responded, which was just amazing. And you never said no.
Right. And here's the thing, right? And so...
until you did say no.
Well, I don't think I did say no.
No, you said not yet.
I said not yet.
Not ready
right.
yet.
And I think I came up with a plan, right? I think I mentioned the plan. I'm like, okay, this is what I got to do, and this is what we got to do to get into this. So that plan is there because that plan makes my business better. So I left you with a plan. But I encourage also people that are listening, if you're ever in that position where you're too busy, don't just leave somebody ghosted. Like, people would appreciate you more if you just straight up said, I can't. Because I am picking up my kid. I can't because I am going to travel in Las Vegas or I'm in traffic. But thank you so much for the opportunity. Hopefully we can connect and make it happen again. Right? Using that instead of ghosting and or giving a ton of excuses before you say you can't. Just say you can't. Like, I can't right now. If you give a reason, here's the reason, and then I'm grateful for it. And move on. It'll keep the relationship together. Plus, hey, listen, like, you never know when you're going to need somebody. Always keep that door open. You never know when it's going to work out or turn into a great friendship.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
absolutely.
There we are. I love it.
Well, we got to wrap it up. Paul, I just got 5 quick questions for you. Ready? This rapid response.
All right. Rapid response. Let's go.
Mai Tais or margaritas?
Neither.
Stupid question for us non-drinkers, right? Sunrises or sunsets?
Sunrises.
Jiu-jitsu or karate?
Jiu-jitsu, karate will get you killed.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Fords or Chevys?
Range Rovers.
Boxers or briefs?
Oh, I'm a brief man. Brief man. Listen, like, there's no commando, there's no swinging. You got to keep it tight. You never know when you're going to be in a fight.
You got that right, Paul. It's certainly a pleasure, man.
Really?
I so appreciate this conversation.
Never a chore.
Coastal Conversations. We'll be back the next episode. Don't know who it's going to be, but we're definitely going to be sitting here with you guys for sure.
Love it.
Thanks, Paul.
You got it, brother. My pleasure. Have a great day.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.